All right, hello students. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to exercise 1 through 3, and we're going to complete the following chart. Kind of based on the information I presented to you in the first video, we're going to complete the following chart. So if we go ahead and look at example 1 here, it says they're giving us a number. We need to find its absolute value. We need to kind of identify it on a number line. You should show it as a diagram. And then we're going to use a different number with the same absolute value. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. Well, first we want to find the absolute value of -6. So of course we want to simply write it as an equation. The absolute value of -6 is equal to, hopefully we understand, is 6. So now if we graph it or use it as a diagram on a number line, we go from 0, and of course we would want to travel all the way over here to -6, and of course that has a distance of +6. Well, what different number has the same value or the same absolute value? Well, -6 is 6 away from 0, so of course the other number that's 6 away from 0, of course, is +6. So there you go. That's kind of what we're going to be doing. That's kind of how we're identifying the absolute value of a number and kind of finding another one with the same absolute value. So let's go ahead and look at number 2. Of course, first you want to do is find the absolute value of 8. So we're going to go ahead and write our symbol down. The absolute value of 8 is equal to, well, it has a distance of 8 away from 0. And I know that because here is 0, and it's going to go ahead and travel all the way over here to the 8. And of course, this has a distance of 8. That's its absolute value. And of course, the other number, another number that has the same absolute value. So instead of going to the right, we would go to the left, of course, is -8. So -8 has the same absolute value as +8. All right, I want you to go and pause the video. I want you to kind of take care of number 3 and the -1 on your own. Come back and kind of see what the answer should be. Make sure they're the same thing. So go ahead and pause the video at this time and give it a try. All right, hello students. Hopefully you wrote it out like this. The absolute value of -1 is equal to +1 because it has a distance of 1 from 0. So there it is. The other number that has the same distance away from 0 is +1. So there you go. So hopefully that's how you set it up. As we kind of hopefully continue to notice, the number that they give us and the different number, of course, are continuing to be opposites over and over again. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the next one. Example 2. Mrs. Owen received a call from the bank because she had a checkbook balance of -45. It says, what was the magnitude of the amount withdrawn? Well, if we don't understand what magnitude is, it kind of is a key word. It kind of left us here for a reason. The magnitude is the measurement. The magnitude of a measurement is the absolute value of its measure. Well, in this case, we have a checkbook balance of -45. So that's the measurement. It is a -45. So we want to find the absolute value of -45, which is equal to +45. That is the magnitude of her checkbook balance. Excuse me. So Mrs. Owens' withdrawal on her checking account had a magnitude of $45. So let's go ahead and kind of identify that. What was the magnitude of her withdrawal? So it was 45. Now we kind of have to state that. So let's go ahead and state that. Well, we're talking about Mrs. Owens. What was it? Mrs. Owens, overdraw. Excuse me. I keep saying withdraw. I apologize. Overdrawn her checking account. I forgot to put account by $45. So that was the magnitude of her overdrawn account. To be overdrawn means you simply spent more money than you have in your account. You don't have. She has a -45 balance, so she didn't have it, so she owes it. All right, so that's kind of just going over the magnitude. As you can see, is the same thing as the absolute value. A magnitude just simply is kind of more of a situational more of a situational word. You're not going to see absolute value kind of really out there. You're going to see the word magnitude being used, and it means the same thing as absolute value. All right, so go ahead and stop the video, go ahead and move on to the last video, and we'll go over a few more examples.